Most people go through their entire lives avoiding pain and suffering because they frame it as something bad, something uncomfortable that makes your life worse. But what they are missing and they don't realize is that this thing you are feeling right now, this pain, this suffering that you are avoiding, it's the best thing you could be feeling right now because it pushes you to become a better version of yourself. The only path you have to choose is to overcome that pain. If it's big enough, the only option you have is to overcome that pain and to become a better version of yourself, the version of yourself that will solve that pain. And let's frame this with an example so easy. It's 5 a.m., your alarm goes on, and you have to wake up to go work, to go do something you have to do, or either go to bed again. But you have to turn the alarm off. That's the common denominator. You have to turn the alarm off. Whatever you have to do. But it's not an option to stay in your bed from 5 to 8 a.m. with the alarm making noises. It's not an option. So in your head, you have only one path to choose, and it's waking up and turn the alarm off. That's the only option you can choose. So when your pain is so big, when you are suffering from something so much, the only option you have is to solve that thing. So it's forcing you to become a better version of yourself, the version of yourself that will solve that problem that is probably caused because you are lacking in something in your life. For example, before starting to train, I was overweight, I was super out of shape with bad nutrition, I wasn't training anything, not doing any sport. So I looked at myself one day and I felt so ashamed of myself. I thought I was trash. I was ashamed of the man I was, of how I felt, of the body I was seeing in the mirror. And from that day to this day, I started training and eating properly, without failing, because my suffering was so big. That's the only option I had. The only option in my mind was to become the man I wanted to become. So there was no excuses, no avoiding, just learning to solve that problem because it was so big I couldn't sleep at night. I was training till throwing up. And I don't say you have to do that. You don't have to train till throwing up. But I was doing that. I was training so much, eating clean every day. And I was all my life some guy who doesn't know everything about training, about nutrition, and suddenly from night to morning I became that guy because my suffering was so big. I had no other option. I had no other path to choose. And this was all due to my lack of balls to solve that problem, to eat properly, to train. So having that pain forced me to solve that problem, to solve that hole in my behaviors, in the person I was, in the man I was becoming. Because if I wasn't like that, I wouldn't have had that pain. But the thing that I was having that pain was an indicator for me that I had to change what I was doing and become a better version of myself. So when you have so much suffering for something, it's an indicator that you have to change something else in your life in order to solve that thing, because the only option you have right now is to solve that thing. So having that pain was the best thing I could have at that moment. Even that I was feeling like trash, I felt like I was a failure. That was the best thing I could be feeling because it pushed me to become the version of myself that I am today, that I love, that I am so proud. If it wasn't for that suffering that most people try to avoid in their lives, I wouldn't be the man I am right now. If I avoided that pain, I will be a piece of shit right now. I will be lazy, I will have a lot of excuses, I will be unhealthy, all these things that I saw because I stopped avoiding my problems. I stopped avoiding the suffering that I had. So suffering from something is not bad, it's a blessing because it is going to push you so much to do something. If the pain you have is so big, if you are suffering that much, you're gonna do something in order to change it. You're gonna do something in order to end that pain. If you are really having that much pain, because I have heard a lot of people say, I want to do that, I want to solve this, I want to change this, but they do nothing about. If you have a pain that is so big, you will do something. If you are suffering so much, you will do something to solve that, but you are not. Guess why is that? Guess why you are not solving it? Guess why you are not doing something to change that thing? If you are not, Ask yourself, are you suffering that much? Are you really having that much pain that you think you are having? If you were, you will solve it. At least you will try to do it. Maybe you don't do it at the first try, or the second try, or the third try, but you will continue trying. You will continue in that path to solve that problem you have right now, because it's the only path in your head, the only option you have to solve that suffering in your life. So having something that causes you to suffer is making you to become a better version of yourself, to improve, to fix things in your life. It's not something bad. It's really a blessing to have in your life when you are suffering from something and you have to change it. It's really a blessing. It's not something you should be avoiding. It's something you should embrace and learn to manage. Because you will always have these type of things in your life. But the difference between you and the people that doesn't change is that they avoid that pain. And you have to learn how to manage it and how to use it in your favor in order to become that version of yourself. That's the only option. Otherwise, you're gonna continue in the same position you are right now, with the same pain and with the same suffering.